Another month, another budget. We are officially 2 years budgeting together here at Balance While Blooming. So thank you if you are following, or welcome if you are new. Here we share all the ways to not only believe in yourself, believe in your goals, but also build the life of your dreams in every single area of life and balancing every single area of life, including money, like we are going to talk about today, and really start blooming your finances, your mindset, your productivity, and so much more while you bloom into this person that you are becoming. And the person you want to become is that next level, that person of your dreams, living that life of your dreams. And let me tell you, money is just one aspect. If money stresses you out, I really recommend that you just follow along and take it from the basics. I have gone way deep dive. A lot is happening in June, but we're going to quickly talk about May and then jump into June with the things that we are paying off, the changes that we have, the updates that we are doing. And so much has changed literally from when I recorded my monthly reset till now of what we're kind of paying off and what we are doing, because every day in the Wilbur household, I feel like our goals and things change, and just our mindset is growing and we are evolving. So just know that every day can kind of change. If you want to save, if you want to spend, if you want to sink money, if you want to get out of debt, every single thing matters when you are talking about your finances. So let me break it down. We always know where our income is going, where our money that is coming in is estimated, and then we track it to our actual at the end of the month. But I always recommend having an income section, an expenses section, a sinking fund section, a spending fund section, and your debt. So what does that all include? Your income is any money that comes in or that you move into your checking account. So anything that you've moved from savings to pay for something, anything that comes in from paychecks, rent, other investments, or anything that you have tangible to touch and play with for that month. Now, your expenses are your mortgage or your rent, any bills that you have, anything that kind of occurs on a monthly basis, no matter what, such as healthcare. We have some of our subscriptions on here. We have our gym, we have gas. All of those things are put together as expenses. And then our sinking funds is all of our savings. So right now we are really focusing on our home, which is our home down payment. Yes, we have home projects because we are buying the house that we are living in. So we are continuously showing up and putting equity and sweat and making sure that it's livable for us, because we are in a unique situation where we live with my mom. And then we have emergency funds. We are trying to get our emergency fund up to our 6-month goal, where if anything was to happen for 6 months, we would have this nice nest egg. Many people start with $1,000. Just $1,000 is not enough for us for an emergency. So we have a nice chunk of change for a month and a half of expenses and things for us to live. Then we have other. This is anything that we have. We need to start paying for, setting money aside for Christmas, for our trips, and for our car insurance that we pay in bulk at the end of the year. So you guys will see that other category kind of adding up. And then spending funds. This is anything that you spend money on. Normally we have fam fun, dine out, and his and hers as one category, and then we have other miscellaneous, and then anything that is going to get paid. In May we had vacations. Next month we will have collections. I will talk about that. And then for debt we have a car payment, and then we have a home project because we are getting a new bathroom installation and we finance that. So that's kind of an overview of what we do. We'll hear how we break down our finances and how we can kind of help you start that process of budgeting. So let's get into our May budget, where we ended up, and then jump into June. As you guys can see, we have our income, expenses, sinking funds, spending funds, debit, all the stuff that we just talked about. Now you can see that we budgeted $8,100, and then you will see the total here. Now as we start putting money into all of these categories, you really want to look at this left to budget area, because this will tell you how much we have left before we're either in the negative or what we have left over to roll over to the next month. So starting with your income, always my husband gets paid weekly, as you can see. And that being said, he did not make $6,000, he made $600. Then every single paycheck was above. Now he also got an extra sick day paycheck, which was $300. It was right under $300, but that $300 is a paycheck that they do at the end of their fiscal year, what they call a year, which is always May. So some point in May, we always get a check, which is nice. So he did over in every single category. And then I get $18.95 because I am salary. We always budget less to make sure that anytime we overspend, we do have that little buffer. Now for rent, we only got $1,200, but this is okay. And we didn't get any back rent. There's a whole conversation about that. We misunderstood what was happening there, which is fine. Then we had some extra from our credit card that was just there. We must have overpaid. So that was obviously that exact amount. And then we had $130 for just some cash that we got from a side project. Now, this is not bad, $600 extra dollars. For not getting $600 here and for being a little bit under, or right where we kind of want to be, to still have that buffer of what you needed to pay for. Now, all that being said, you go to your expenses next because you need to be able to pay the basics. So for us, we always have the basics in there. Now, I did not put in my disclaimer of explaining our family and how we do our groceries. We do spend over $1,000 almost every single month, but we are the people who do all the basics in our house, and we have 6 people living here on average, and on average we have 5 of us, and then my stepson is here at least half the week. So that's 6 people that not only we need to feed, but we also need to have toilet paper, paper towels, wipes. I bought a lot of cleaning supplies this month. We are reorganizing our entire house. So there's a lot that had to get thrown out and had to be replaced. For our gym, it's always $35. Our gas, we are right under where we want to be at that $300 at $220. We only paid $150 in health insurance. I don't know what's happening with my health insurance. I thought I would have to do and pay, but I didn't. So that is our eyes exams. And then $155 for subscriptions, which means we were under. Now for our family, we are anywhere between $3,500 and usually $4,500 for our expenses. So that's how we figure out our emergency fund. That's how you would do it. So you would figure out over 3 months kind of where you're going to sit on a higher month and times that by 6 to get your emergency fund. I'm just kind of walking through this chit-chatty this time because I want you guys to know that not only is this our 2-year anniversary, I've learned a lot, but also a lot can change as you go through your budgeting journey and figuring out what works for you and your family. Because for us, we may be a small family of 3, but we house a family of 6. But we are mid-income and we do have all of these bills and expenses, but we also get to live our life. So it's really finding that balance and what works for you. Now let's go into our debt. You should always pay your debt bills first, and that was exactly what we thought. We always pay $450 for the home projects. Hopefully that stays when we get our final part put in there. It's a whole different system for this debt, and I think it's weird, but they put half of it in there now and half of it when it's done. It's getting done this week when you guys are seeing this video, and then the full payment of what our monthly payment is, but I kind of estimated it and hope it's not more than $450 because that's what we've been budgeting for the last 2 months since we've had it. Now we have $4,000 left. Did we stay on budget for our spending, and were we able to save? Well, we overspent in our dine out and all of that. It happens almost every month, but we also overspent in our other and miscellaneous. Then we also overspent in vacation. So that being said, for it being our vacation month, us traveling, doing all of these things, it's not bad, right? We didn't really overspend. We did overspend a little, but realistically, with all that being said, we only overspent $355. So that's not terrible. Now, were we able to save anything extra? Of course we were. Because we have $2,000 left, we saved our normal $500. And then for other, we put in $1,700. Now that $1,700 is really gonna all disappear because I will explain what is happening in June in a minute. As you can see, we did really well. We still have $20 left in there, and that is really great. So all of that being said, we are going to pop this up on the screen, but where we estimated and where it actually came for our expenses, debt, sinking funds, and spending funds, we are right on track. Of course, we overspent a little, but we are still under our 25% with 20%. Then we spent a little bit less on savings, but hey, we're way closer than what we thought. And then our debt is right on track from where we thought we would be, and we actually spent less on our expenses. So overall, I think that's a great month. We are way closer to where our goals are. We thought we were going to have a heavy health insurance month, so we knew that the expenses could be higher. May was a great month. Check out my monthly reset to kind of see what's been happening, and let's jump into our June budget. So as you can see, this is what it looks like empty. Everything is clear slate. You fill in what you need. So that being said, we have a lot of the same in here. The only thing we added was our moved from savings. So we are moving a chunk of change from savings. Right now I'm going to put that in, 9,000. We have been saving for this on and off for years, and we finally are going to be paying off my husband's collections. The reason why we did not pay it sooner was because we had to buy the truck. We had car situations. Instead of paying with our emergency funds, we really sacrificed our debt, which is okay, but I do want to be realistic that if you don't think you're going to be able to pay off your collections by the time you need it, realistically, please pay that off as soon as possible. Now, all that being said, we're going to have 9,000 extra than we ever thought we would have. So that being said, I just wanted to cut that right here, right now, that I'm not putting that in, but that is what is going on our budget, because I want to show you guys the rest of it of how I actually budget for the month. So I'm going to get rid of these and I'm not going to put them in at all, but that is an additional 9,000 coming in from savings and 9,000 going out. Now at the end of the month, of course, I will put that in again and you guys will see that. So for our paychecks, my husband only gets 4 this month, so that means they're all going to be $450. Of course, we hope more comes in as always, but if it doesn't, that's okay. Same with mine. We always do less to be able to budget more. We have our normal rent. We need to have a conversation about when all that back rent is coming in, but right now is not that time. 200 for work reimbursements. Now I get work reimbursements every 2 to 3 months, and less I forget to ask for it. So $6,900 is not great for us. This is a very low month for us. This is months that we just don't know if anything else is going to come in. We don't really know where anything is going to be exactly. So I'd rather be really realistic of not knowing if there's any other streams of income coming in. That being said, we have $6,900 to break up into every single category that we want to put money into this month. Of course, you always start with your bills and expenses. This month, we do have our bills. We have a water bill coming. I don't know what that's going to be, so I'm estimating $150. It might be more. That all being said, you always want to make sure that you know where your money is coming in and how you can save as much as possible and not overspend. Now, we did so much last month for groceries that I'm really hoping to cut it back this month, especially because we don't have as many people in our house all the time. This month we are going to be on the go more. And that being said, at the end of the month, which is part of this paycheck, I think, is a wedding. So we are gone. So I don't even think we're going to need groceries. But if we hit over, that's okay. That's what our buffer money is for from our paychecks. Now, that being said, jump right to your debt. And that is the typical $470 and $450. I will let you guys know once we find out if our minimum payment is less than that or more than that and how we have to change that moving forward. Then we want to, of course, save. We are going to be saving $500 and leaving it at that and putting $700 into emergency funds. Now, we were going to save into our other category and put it into something that matters, but I really think it's important with the $9,000 that we have saved that we kind of work on our emergency fund a bit more, which is okay. Now, Her, and dine out is a little bit hefty this month at $450. Actually, we're gonna do $500 because I think that's realistic, and then $245 is leftover. So $745 is a little bit low for us for spending, but we are going to try to cut back as much as possible and really be realistic with what is happening and hopefully stay right on budget when it comes to our bills and expenses. Now again, let's pull up what that is going to look like for our percentages. Again, our expenses are a little bit high. That's okay. And then everything is either higher or lower. So we are obviously paying off more debt compared to our income, which is great. That is okay. I don't like spending 13% on debt, but I do know that it's not at our 30%, so that's great. And then sinking funds, we are at that 17%. I'm hoping to save a little bit more, but of course with all this spending and stuff, that is how that is. And then spending funds is 10%, less than half of our goal. So right now we are at a great spot for where we are going with June. I'm really proud of how we've come over the last 2 years with our spending, our saving. We have bought 2 cars. We have put so much into our home down payment. We have done so much with our money over the last 2 years. How much have we grown, bloomed, and become over the last 2 years? And know that so much of your life can change, even including your finances, for you to believe in yourself and build this new reality of the person you want to be by just taking it one day at a time. Take it 1 month at a time and really figure out what systems you're going to create, what habits with finances you're going to create, and how you can change your mindset with money so that you can not only save, you can spend, and you can pay off your debt, all while not worrying about where that next paycheck is. Once you feel like you are in control with your money, money is way less stressful. And all that being said, I am here to help you. This community is here to help you. And we want to see you bloom and become that next level in every single area of life, including your income. So as always, keep blooming, keep bouncing, and I will see you guys soon. Bye guys.